The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's host, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night and the show pony David Rodgers alongside the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland, our producer and director. Great to have you along. Mr. Austin Stephen in the house tonight.
It's going to rain.
Yeah, I bet it is. All right. Okay, here we go. Tonight's show is sponsored by Mitchell Gunner Racing and the On the Spot Motorsports media page. Tune in on Thursdays to hear the latest from the guru of motorsports, Mitchell Gunner, and by the On the Spot Lawn Care Maintenance. Spring is coming. Now's the time to plan for who takes care of your lawn. Let the red, white, and blue take care of your green. You can call me at 904-966-1633. You can send me an email on onthespot32091 at gmail.com, or you can hit me at david.rogers1352 at yahoo.com or david.rogers1532 at gmail.com. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the show. Another beautiful Tuesday night, but as Austin says, it's a little bit rainy. He'll get into that here in just a minute. But let's go to our prayer. Here we go. Everybody bow your heads, please. Remove your hats. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that you're giving us to bring this show to our viewers and our viewing audience. And the information that we give out, dear Lord, that they take that information and disseminate and see how they need to use it, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the world's greatest country, dear Lord, the most freest and powerful nation in the world, the United States of America. Yes, people sometimes say that it is not, but we know that it is, dear Lord, and with your guiding hand and your guiding touch, we can become that great nation again. Thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of those young men and women serving in our armed forces today, dear Lord. The ones that are on active duty, whether they're here in the United States or abroad and somewhere else. Please keep a hedge of protection over them as they're doing their job, dear Lord, to fight the enemy, domestic and international terrorism, and any other acts and things that want to harm our great nation. Thank you for our first responders, each and every one of those young men and women that work hard diligently each and every day. They go out there and sacrifice their lives, dear Lord, to keep us safe, not only during the day, dear Lord, while we're working and doing other things, but while we're at our homes at night, dear Lord, while we're in our sanctuary, that nobody comes in and protrudes our sanctuary. And if they do, dear Lord, that our first responders are just a phone call away, and they're out there to give us a helping hand. Thank you for our great nation and everybody that works in our great nation, our truck drivers, our farmers, our railroad workers, our steel mills, anybody that's producing and helping America keep great as we always are and always should be. Thank you for each and every one of those people that go to work hard each and every day, and that you just put a hedge of protection and keep them in our sanctuary, dear Lord, in your sanctuary, and keep them safe. Thank you for our food that we receive each and every day as it goes to nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Any spoken or unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, please touch each and every one of them, especially, dear Lord, the people that suffered through those nasty tornadoes, dear Lord. That's the act of Mother Nature, and we know that, dear Lord, and we just can't control where these things go, but all those people that got affected in the state of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, that you please put your hand of protection on them, comfort them, dear Lord, and let's work together to rebuild this town, dear Lord, and these towns and these homes so people can get back to their daily lives, dear Lord. And the people that got shot up in Nashville, dear Lord, the young people, the 9-year-olds, and the adults that got shot. by this person, dear Lord, that wanted to commit evil acts, that, you comfort their families, you comfort that school, you comfort that town, dear Lord, because that town is really hurting right now. And those children that were affected, not only directly but indirectly, please put your hedge of protection over them, put your comfort over them, dear Lord, because they just don't know what's going on, and with your guidance and your touch, they will be able to understand, and they will be able to move on with their lives. Again, let us thank you for this show. Let us thank you for the day. Let us thank you for this great week that you're giving us. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says, Amen. Let us stand for our pledge. And I'm going to ask Cheryl if she'll lead us in our pledge tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I caught you, didn't I, Cheryl? She was over there sleeping, so I figured I'd get her. But anyway, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon for everybody that's tuning in to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers. Uh-oh. No Byron Bagwell.
No.
The Byron Bagwell. He's actually working. He's going to be working till about 9 o'clock tonight. Whew. That job, I know, gets to him a little bit, but hey, Byron's got to make a living just like anybody else does, and Byron does a good job working for Haven Hospice. He'll be joining us tonight here in just a little bit. We do have Austin Stevens in the house tonight. He'll be going over the weather for us. It's going to rain, for sure. Of course, we've got our very own and esteemed producer and director. He is the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland. Say hello, David.
Hello, David.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. All right. And Mr. Mitchell Gunner may drop by. He's going to stop in and pick up a couple of things from us. Maybe we'll get him on there. We're going to talk about the On the Spot Motorsports media page.
Awesome.
David, that thing's blowing up.
Yeah, I hear.
Blowing slap up.
I hear he's got a great interview coming up.
Yes, he does, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute unless he gets here, and we'll be talking about that. Yeah. But we're going to move on with the show, so don't go anywhere, because here comes the roundtable after we pay some bills with this commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
All right, this is the round table. Here we go around the region and around the table with the latest news and notes. Brought to you by Harry Business in the Deerfoot Plaza, home of the $10 haircut. Call Dave and Company at 904-964-3338. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a look at this pretty hair that this guy's got. It's so long and shabby, but it looks pretty decent. But Dave's going to hook me up sometime toward the end of the week or this weekend so we can get it back in shape. He's open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 now, closed on Sundays. But I bet you if you said, David, I've got an emergency, man, and David's around, I assure you Dave Holland will be in the shop to cut your hair. That's one thing I love about Harry Business.
Yeah, and I'd like to throw out again my new hours. They're 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday.
So would it be, let me see, hang on. The new hours, ladies and gentlemen, are 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday.
Not 10 to 6.
Not 10 to 6, but 9 to 5.
Who messed up on that?
Well, hello there. Here we go. All right.
I still need a haircut.
Yes, you do.
Didn't want to confuse anybody.
No, we didn't. And you're right. I did say 10 to 6, but it is 9 to 5. Was it 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, Dave? Closed on Sunday?
Yep.
Okay. So that's what we're going with.
Well, that's it, man.
That's
You
it?
got You
Joker's
got
Wild, anything?
Is it a winning hand?
It could be.
He just
If you go to Harry Business, it's going to be a winning hand.
Yeah.
Clay County Commissioners broke ground this morning on a regional sports park with the first phase expected to cost $6 million big ones. Phase 1 of the project would include 8 multi-purpose fields, a restroom facility, shade structures, ponds, a driveway, 350-plus parking spaces, and 3/4 of a mile walking trail. The facility is 1 mile north of State Road 16 and Camp Landing on State Road 21. The New Brooker Community School will be hosting a Touch a Truck event this Saturday as part of its enrollment program to gain new students for the coming school year. Organized by the Fantastic Fire Brigade, headed up by Michael Heater, a local business in Hampton. Vehicles of all types will be on display for the children to see and interact with. The event runs from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the school on County Road 18 in Brooker, Florida. Also this Saturday is the 15th annual Beast Feast at the Bradford Sportsman Club and Shooting Range in Graham. There will be music featuring the Ben Carter Band, a local band here in Bradford County, a silent auction, and raffles. Tickets are only $75, and you can get more information from the Rotary Club of Stark's Facebook page. We here at On the Spot are very excited to be a part of the upcoming Stark Splash Bash on July 4th. I, David A. Rodgers, will be the voice of Splash Bash again this year, and I will have a team of folks helping me. There will be a charity cornhole tournament, and Mitchell Gunner will be putting on another fantastic car show. That is July 4th. That event starts at 9 a.m., David, with a softball game, guns versus hoses. Who's going to win, David?
Oh, man.
We really don't care who wins. Just a good game, right, Dave?
That's all we're looking for.
We're looking for a
To
good
have
game.
some fun and in the weather and just have
Yep.
a good time.
Yep. I don't know who's going to be umpiring, but somebody told me you were going to be umpiring. I heard.
You know, they asked, and
Uh-huh.
I declined
Yeah.
due to the fact that my umpire skills are kind of
Your license is out of date.
Yeah.
So we got to renew your license. We're not going to be able to renew it in time.
No.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I heard a rumor it's going to be too hot for him.
You think it's going to be too hot? Well, that's contrary to popular belief, Austin. This year, I will be on stage with great musical performances as I'm in charge of Austin the Entertainment, a charity Guns and Hoses softball game with the Stark Police and Bradford Sheriff's Office, taking Stark Fire and Bradford County Fire Departments on, and much more. Mark your calendars and plan on joining me, the show pony himself, David Rodgers, at Splash Bash on July 4th. For more information, like and follow the Stark Splash Bash page on Facebook, or you can hit us on the spot 32091 at gmail.com with any questions. 5,000 people last year. David, looking to double that this year to 10. I think if it goes right and everything is going as planned, there should be 10,000 people coming here through Stark. And we've had people coming from Callahan, Jacksonville, Crescent City. We've had all kinds of people that came through the last time.
Yep.
Now the word's out there. You may get more people in.
Let's hope it's a nice hot day.
Yes, yes. No rain, right, Austin?
rain.
Don't say it. Finally, it's
I'm
time.
going to turn my phone off.
All right, yeah, there we go, Austin. Finally, it's time for the recall recap featuring product recalls from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week we have ATVs, Skag lawnmowers, and baby formula. Dave, this may affect me. Textron Specialized Vehicles is recalling Arctic Cat Altera 600 and Tracker 600 all-terrain vehicles, ATVs as they're known, due to a crash hazard. The ATV's A-arm can separate from the frame, causing loss of steering, Dave. That's that arm control that goes down. It separates. You're not steering anything.
You're not going anywhere.
No, anywhere, yeah. Posing crash and injury hazards. For more information, if you own one of these vehicles, call 888-525-6969 6040.
Wow.
Kawasaki Motors USA recalls engines sold on Ferris and Skag riding lawnmowers due to burn and fire hazards. Oh boy, the high pressure fuel line can get damaged by contact with the fuel pump cover, causing a fuel leak that can cause a fire and related burns. For more information, call 866-836-4463. You know what, David? Mine are 2016s. I'm not sure what date these are, but you can go on there and call 836-4463 and find out which model that is, because now I could be affected with my 2 Skags, and that's what I used to mow everybody's grass with that are in my accounts. So, that could really hurt me right there, especially if they have to have it for a while if I can't get it in really quickly.
That's a fire danger for the fleet.
So, what do you think, Dave? Well, I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah.
But lastly, you know Rickett?
Yep.
A producer of nutrition products announced today that out of an abundance of caution is voluntarily recalling 2 select batches of Prosobi 12.9-ounce plant-based infant formula due to a possibility of bacterial contamination. No illnesses have been reported yet. Parents with questions should consult with their pediatrician, which most everybody has, or call this 1-800 number, 800-479-0551. These products, plus other recalls, can be found on the CPSC and FDA websites. You can Google FDA recall or consumer recall to get the complete list, and we will feature recalls each week that could pose a threat to you and your family. Here, we're going up here in just a minute. I was just talking about him, Dave.
Yeah.
Here comes your on-the-spot weather with Mr. Austin Stevens.
On Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm also back behind the studio, sweating bullets, making sure the show's running. This is sponsored by Austin's Wester's Business Wi-Fi now. David, how do you like the rain outside? Because I heard you got rained on.
I got rained on just as soon as I went outside for a second, yes.
Why was Mother Nature crying on you?
I don't know. I wish she wouldn't, but she's gonna.
Well, these thunderstorms and showers will lead to cooler weather tonight. Temperatures will fall to the lower 60s to upper 50s by morning. Hey, how does it sound to have no muggy weather tomorrow? Highs only in the mid-70s and cloudy with humidity values down to 50%. Sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
And at night, lows in the lower 50s. Daytime temperatures on Thursday will be mostly sunny with highs around 80. Temperatures will rebound back to near 90 by Sunday. So enjoy the cool weather while we have it, because this might actually be, based on data, the last cool snap we have, because it's not affecting anywhere south of I-4. Back to you, David.
Oh, thank you very much for that weather report, Austin. And we'll get back with you at the end of the show. Somebody told me that you and Cheryl, your mother, beautiful mother Cheryl, have a tent out back, and y'all are going to camp out tomorrow night. Is that true?
I don't know.
Roasting s'mores, marshmallows?
I don't know who said that.
Yeah, that's what I heard, Cheryl. That's what I heard. You and us are going to be camping out, roasting up s'mores.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be at
Yeah, that sounds fun, too. I was going to say, if y'all are, I'm invited.
What's a s'more?
Ooh, a s'more. You know what a s'more is.
Hey, well, I'll tell you this.
Do you know what a s'more is?
Yes, but I'm going to tell you this much. I'm going to be in my house with my nice new AC setup that was constructed by there.
I see.
So
Okay.
is that a northern or a southern animal?
A s'more?
Yeah.
Well, it would be a southern animal because you can actually eat it.
Oh!
What?
Yeah.
Like rabbit?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's
I'm sorry.
well, graham crackers.
I don't eat
Is graham
rabbit.
cracker an animal?
No.
No.
Are you sure?
Graham?
Graham
Graham
cracker?
crackers?
Yeah, graham cracker.
I know it didn't survive the
How about marshmallows?
well,
Marshmallows. Marshmallows.
Marshmallows.
Marsh-
And them graham crackers, unfortunately, did not survive them tornadoes on Mississippi.
How about chocolate?
Oh.
And chocolate, that's right. We got to have the chocolate, man. And ooh, man, those things, you put it in between those graham crackers, right, Cheryl?
That sounds good.
You're talking about some calories, boy? That's some calories.
You're gonna make everyone go to Walmart.
I was just going to say, somebody already said, hey, man, I like s'mores.
Do you remember the first time you tried a s'more?
Yes, sir, I do. I was 10 or 11, I think. Maybe even a little younger than that. But, yeah, somewhere around that age. I've loved them ever since. Can't you tell?
No, I couldn't.
Can't you tell?
Let
Can't
me
you
get the
tell?
camera and zoom in.
You don't even have to get the camera. It shows it right up over it. All right. Hey, I need to go back, Dave, because you, Cheryl, and Austin, let me forget something. The patriotic quote of the night.
I'm back there working on your hotspot, making sure the show don't die.
No, you got to keep up with everything, Austin. If not, we're going to have to get somebody to multitask. I know you're a
I'm already
multitasker.
multitasking. I'm watching.
Well, why didn't you tell me that we forgot the patriotic quote of the night?
You forgot the patriotic quote of the
I
night.
sure did, because you forgot to remind me.
Well, I thought it was on your list already.
All right. Well, we'll pick it back up. Here we go.
We'll put it on the producer.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll take the load.
You take the load.
Because I'm looking at the charts over here.
All right. Well, it's not always about the internet, Austin. There's other duties.
Oh.
David?
Yes.
What about the
See,
radar?
all I hear from Austin, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I hear from Austin. Got to make sure the internet's up. Got to make sure that. Got to make sure this. Got to make sure that. But it's never nothing to do with the show.
What about the radar?
We don't need the radar right now. We need to keep flowing with the show.
But if there's a severe thunderstorm warning,
You're supposed to remind me of this.
How am I going to get my info if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, sir?
Well, I don't know. You're just going to have to figure that out. But we got,
I have to look at
this
the
is
radar.
part
So
of the
what's the
show.
date? So what's the date?
So this is part of the show. You're not going to win this argument, son. You can almost forget it. I want to thank Austin.
So what's the date?
So what's the date?
Yeah. Don't forget about that, too.
Is it your birthday?
No.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, approximately 25 days till my birthday.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
all that,
All that.
and it got to where he could tell us it's his birthday.
Yeah, all that.
He
He
couldn't
wanted to
have said
sit
it.
there. He wanted to sit there and argue and argue and argue and argue and be the host of the show and argue and argue and argue.
You know what's
Just
one-
All right, for now, you got to go to the back and make sure I don't forget anything else.
You know what? You want to know what's before my birthday? A day before?
What's that?
Earth Day.
Earth Day.
Yeah, the 22nd of April is Earth Day.
All right, well, that's down the road, Austin. Make sure I don't forget anything, will you?
Okay.
All right.
So today's history.
Quote. Patriotic quote.
Yes.
Well, that you want the quote?
No, I've got the quote.
All right, good. What's the
So
quote?
remind me, say, David, I'm reminding you to give the quote.
Okay, noted.
Still didn't do it. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Quote of the night. Inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, and as deadly as a hitman.
That sounds like
Who said that?
That sounds like a me and David Rodgers conversation.
Yes, it does.
At the end of the day.
I can tell you this person was in the 20th century. So you don't have to go back a long, long ways.
Right. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's
This is for you guys, too, listening in.
Yeah. And there's this weather guy back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he made that quote right after he did his weather show. I think his name is Austin Stevens.
Is that your guess?
I'm going to guess Austin
You're
Stevens.
going to go with Austin Stevens. Okay, let me read this again. Inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, and as deadly as a hitman. You're right in the 20th century. Well, no. Well, yeah, you could be. Sure, back in the day. So, anybody got any guesses out there? Anybody tuning in here?
A law enforcement officer?
It is not. Well, he could be, yes.
Is he,
I'll tell you this. You want me to help you a little bit?
is he
you want me to help you a little?
political official?
He was a political official. He was, and I'll tell you, he was a president. That's many of them in the 20th century.
Wow, yeah.
Well, you got to think of the Great Depression back in 1929. That's, that was caused by inflation. And it
That's
was
where I was going with
sort of
it.
going,
I was thinking.
you went like FDR, Franklin D?
Franklin D. Roosevelt would have been my guess.
Okay, Franklin D. What do you got, Austin?
I kind of was thinking the same thing.
You're kind of thinking the same.
My brain's a little bit on the tired side.
Okay.
Doing a lot.
Cheryl, any guesses?
No.
No? Well, you two boys had a great guess,
But it was.
but it's not.
Oh, rats.
My second guess would be Hoover.
That was another great guess, but no. That president is President Ronald Reagan. President Ronald Reagan said that inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, and as deadly as a hitman. And I tell you, President Ronald Reagan, one great president, great actor, by the way. You ever watch any of his movies, you'll see why. That dude, hey, yes, he was. And let me tell you, dude, he was a handsome dude back then, too, man. All the ladies liked him. Right, Cheryl?
I don't know.
Well,
I was a kid.
let's see who got it right. So somebody said they got it right. Dave Holland Jr. said he got it right. But where did he put his answer? No, Dave Holland Jr., I ain't going for that. So, well, you didn't type it in here. So, no, it's wrong.
Oh, so now David's going after Dave Holland Jr.
That's right.
Now I'm not the punching bag anymore.
It can't work for you.
It can't work for him. All right, let's move on with the show, and then we're going to get some comments. Thursday night Tune Trivia at the Downtown Grill. I forgot to give you a word, Dave. There is no answer is. Starts at 7:30 on Thursday nights at the Downtown Grill. Come down and join us for some food, your favorite beverage, some fun, laughs, great trivia night. So come down and join us at Chrissy and Ricky Thompson's place, the Downtown Grill. Trivia starts at 7:30. Can't forget about tomorrow night, because tomorrow night at Fun Point, starting at 7 straight up, Michael Heater is the host, the trivia host over at Fun Point, right, Dave? And they start at 7 o'clock. They have a great trivia over there as well. The best trivia around on Wednesday nights.
I hear it's great.
And then my trivia is the best on Thursday nights.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's great. So we've got 2 trivias going on. All right, here we go. All right, he was what? He was screaming it. No, you. Yeah, we'll get into that here in a minute. And now he said I was screaming it. Well, we didn't hear it. And now everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG, Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, mine and Byron's bosses on Friday nights during Tornado football, and Dave. There it is, and the Bradford County Telegraph and their great staff, including Governor John Miller, Editor-in-Chief Mark Crawford, the ag guru himself, John Ryan Tillman, which him and his lovely wife own Sporting Chance, and, of course, Mr. Photogenic himself, Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. These are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during the last week of March in what year? No new taxes. Hooray! That's a big fat lie. Public protest fire EMS assessment recommendations. Stark manager Milner, that would be Bob Milner, announces his departure. And fire damages our local Stark Pizza Hut. So, was that the last week of March of 2018, 2019, 2020? This is your chance to play right here. No new taxes, public protest fire, and EMS assessment recommendations. Start manager Milner announces his departure. Fire damages Start Pizza Hut. Was that the last week of March of 2018, 2019, 2020? Dave, let's give him a couple of little hints there. Do we have any? The Bradford County Commission commits to looking elsewhere for funding after a study indicated a high cost of funding a fire department with an assessment of $300 per household a year was proposed. Stark City Manager Bob Miller told city commissioners that he is resigning from the post effective September 30th. The reasons he gave were personal. And an early morning fire damaged the Pizza Hut restaurant in beautiful Stark, Florida. There were no injuries, and the air conditioning appeared to be the cause of that fire.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Just talking about air conditionings and summertime coming up. Make sure to have your air conditioning man, unless you know something about air conditionings, come out and check your unit. Especially if you haven't been running it, Dave, during these winter months. You want to make sure that everything is working properly. Call out your air conditioning man. Hey, it's worth spending the $129 or $139 service call to make sure nothing like that will happen to your home.
The AWS studios just got a new AC system put in.
Wow. Let's check the comments and say hello, and we'll see the answer here in a minute. This is where you can play, guys. Hey, all you got to do is guess that date, and then we'll put you in the drawing, the major drawing, at the end of the month, which we'll draw on April the 1st. We never drew March's, Dave. Do you know that? Yeah. But we do have a winner, and I know you've got it over there, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But anyway, we've already done March's, so we're working on April's. You'll have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. You can use it on trivia night. You can use it on Friday night. You can use it on Saturday night. You can use it in the mornings. You can use it whenever you want. That is a $25 gift card from the Downtown Grill, sponsored by the Downtown Grill owners, Chrissy and Ricky Thompson. Let's check out some comments here. Dwight Allen, good evening, fellow Patriots. Good evening to you, fellow Patriot. Brody Gunner's on. By the way, I spoke with Brody this past Saturday at the car show, which I'll talk about here as we talk about on the Spot Motorsports Media. Brody wants to, I'd like for to have Brody on again, David.
Yes.
As a special guest. So Brody's going to check out his calendar, and he's going to check us out and let us know when he can come on. Randy Brooks is on. Roy Jackson's on. Amy Blom's on. Roger Cruz is on. The Tornado himself. Dwight Allen, amen to you, brother. Denny Ray Randolph is watching. Miss Shirley Bagwell is watching. Glad that you're back from your trip, Shirley. From that beautiful place called Costa Rica. Her and Donnie had a good time. Glad that they're back. Billy Rayberg is here watching. I hope he's on his meds, David. Uh-oh. Melissa Cribbs is watching. Chief Jerry Feltner is watching. Remember, we had the chief on just a couple of weeks ago. Good evening, gentlemen. Hope we got some of that rain. Yeah, you should have. Yes. Ricky Autistic is on. Ricky Autistic is part of LCCW. They've got a show coming up here in April. I think, David, we're a part of that again. We've got some business, David, we've got to take care of at LCCW. You know that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I know that.
Yep.
It's been put off.
It's been put off, and we need to get in there, and we need to straighten that up. So we're going to be a special guest over there for LCCW, and we're going to take care of the matter at hand. Z Zamaya. You know Z, Dave?
Yeah. How's he doing?
Z, how you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. You and the man himself. Man, you know, my name has slipped his mind. My goodness. Z and Tucker. Tuck. Yeah. My goodness. Z and Tuck. Their show is on Thursday nights, 10:30 our local time, because they're 3 hours back of us. So it'll be 10:30 here, it'll be 7:30 their time. They have a great show. Go and watch Z and Tuck. Great graphics, great interaction with the viewers and the fans. That is Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. Those shows are on Thursday at 7:30. Good shows, David. They got some good shows.
Great podcasting work those guys are doing.
Yes, great podcasting work. So absolutely. Arlene Morehouse is watching. Ellen Disher-Williams is watching. And she says, give me the flags, the USA flags. Dave Holland Jr. is watching. Well, Aaron Jackson's watching. One of my favorite people, Aaron. Chris Davis is watching. Excuse me. Trust me, I did get it. I said the answer before you said it, but you're right. I did not type it. Well, then it's wrong, right, Dave?
No, it just doesn't count.
It just doesn't count. There you go. Liz Tillery Holland, his lovely wife, is watching. He was screaming at David, it's Ronald Reagan, it's Ronald Reagan. He's laughing. Guesses, Dave, here we go. You got a paper over there, Dave? You got a little piece of paper?
Yeah, I got who's that, Dave Hall?
Dave Holland, DHJ.
Dave Holland, yeah.
Yeah, 2020. He's got 2020.
Yeah.
Dwight Allen's got 2020.
Melissa Cribbs has got 2020.
She does. Randy Brooks has got 2020.
You know, Roy Jackson's went 2018.
Uh-oh, he changed it back. He changed it back?
That's what I got, 2018.
Okay, well, 2018 for Roy Jackson. D.A. Dennis Cruz, 2020. The model, Sharon Pettiprin, says, good evening, guys. My guess is 2020. Ralph Bratton is watching. Benny Jackson's watching. Shirley Bagwell, I think you meant to say 2020 instead of 2030. Gotta love Shirley. Gotta love her cakes. By the way, Dave, you know we got a bunch of birthdays coming up in April.
Oh, yes.
A bunch. And Shirley's going to be making some. You already know, man. I ain't got to tell you.
I don't know. It's been a long time since she's made one.
Yeah, and she told me that she's got some things in the works.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. You ain't kidding. Shirley Bagwell and those cakes. Oh, my God. Anyway, I can't. So anyway, I'm going to let a couple of people chime in. Want to go over some other news, David, here. Boy Scouts of American Values Dinner will be held this Thursday, March the 30th, 2023, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm not sure who they're inducting this year, but go out. I'm not sure what it is per plate. I don't know if it's 30, but anyway, all the monies and all the proceeds go to the Boy Scouts of America, which is a great thing, man. I tell you, great people has come across the Boy Scouts of America platform.
Did they give you a contact number?
They did not, but I'll tell you, if we find out, we can put it on the webpage. How about that?
There you go.
All right, Northside Baptist Church Rib Cook-Off starts at 5 a.m. this coming Saturday morning. The entry fee is $50 for teams of 2. The meat is provided at the start. How about that, David? You don't even have to bring your own meat. They provide it for you. All ribs must be turned into judges no later than 12 p.m. The event starts actually at 10 a.m. Bounce houses, egg hunt, car show, and pie sale. Rib dinners are $10. Hot dogs are $5. They go on sale at 11:30. The event will be over at 2 p.m. All proceeds go to the school's general fund. That's at Northside Baptist Church.
Yep.
That's this Saturday, Rib Cook-Off. Your buddy, Chris Davis, will be a judge in that.
Oh, right.
So he knows how ribs are. He'll be able to be a great judge for that. There you go. Racers for Christ. Interview with Racers for Christ. Phil Green. He will be on the On the Spot Motorsports media page this Thursday night. No, not this Thursday, Mitchell.
This Thursday's Tammy Brandemere.
Tammy Brandemere. Hey, this Thursday. And then
Next
the Racers.
Thursday is Chase Van Sant.
Chase Van Zandt.
Then the next week will be probably Phil Green.
All right, then the next week. But anyway, Racers for Christ, it got my attention. Anything dealing with Christ in the Bible has got to be really good. So we'll get into that as that time comes. All right, got a couple of other things here. Let's see, locally, let me start with the Bradford tennis team. They've got a match on the 30th at Ridgeview. That match starts boys and girls at 3:30, then a couple of more matches, and then on to districts. Bradford baseball, not doing so hot, but they're starting to pick up a little bit. They've got a game tonight at Fort White, unless it's been canceled. That game started at 6. March the 30th, they'll be at home against Baker County. That game starts at 7. And March the 31st, at home against Crescent City at 7 p.m. Maybe they can get those 3 games in and, of course, help them in the district placing. Bradford Tornadoes softball team ain't doing half bad. They've got a game on the 31st, Swanee High School over in Swanee. That game will start at 7 p.m. The Bradford High School flag football team, David, listen to this, Mitchell, Austin, Cheryl. Hey, they've got a game tonight at Keystone, unless it got rained out, which I'm sure it probably did.
It more than likely got rained out.
So that's according to Austin. March the 30th, Florida High is coming here to play Bradford at 5 p.m. And then March the 31st and April 1st, they're going to play in the Capital City Classic in Tallahassee. They are undefeated and untied and probably ranked 2nd or 3rd in the state. Flag football team, girls, flag football team doing some good things, Mitchell. Bradford track, 328. That was today in Baldwin. The meet start at 4:15, but I bet that's not going to happen and probably it's going to get canceled out. And on March 31st and April 1st, the Florida relays at UF track. That's always fun.
Track meets don't get rained out.
Oh, what if it's lightning?
They will postpone it, but
Okay, so they will redo this?
they will get it in tonight,
Oh, they'll get it in tonight, even if it's late?
even if it's late.
Now, that's for the high school, so, or both. Middle school, too?
I'm not going to pretend like I know this, Mitchell.
So,
but,
Mitchell's ran track before,
Yeah,
so.
we're running the
what
rain.
about
Okay.
what about if there was say 3 hours of lightning? Say it's thunderstorms just stalled out.
Either he said like they'll run it late or they'll reschedule this, right? So, but it won't get off the books, is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. So, here we go. For the middle school, they'll be at Bowles tomorrow, Bowles High School. They'll leave the school at 2 p.m. and the meet starts at 4, back home by about 9 or 10 o'clock. Don't forget about STEM for our people that's really artistic and likes to play guitars and play with robots and things like that. STEM, that's at Santa Fe College. That's going to be offered during the summer. We'll get into more of that. Santa Fe College basketball clinic and volleyball clinic will be on April the 22nd. The boys and girls basketball 10 to 11:30. Girls volleyball noon to 1:30. Pizza will be served after each session. And don't forget to sign up for the cornhole tournament for July 4th. The Splash Bash cornhole tournament. Very limited teams. $30 entry fee, I do believe, is what it is. Yep, $30 entry fee per team. Register, you got to register between 12 and 4 unless we change that. Proceeds go to Shop with a Cop. And first place is going to take home $300. Second place is going to take home $100. That's one of the many events that will happen at Splash Bash here in Start, Florida on July the 4th. All right, guys, y'all ready for the answer? Dave, I already know the answer, so I can't guess. So, Cheryl, I'm going to ask you, what date is that, 2018 or 2019 or 2020?
2020.
2020. Austin?
2020.
2020. David?
I'm going to go with Shirley Bagwell, 2030.
2030.
Oh, Jesus.
Good
I
grief.
meant 2020.
Yeah, Ellen Disher Williams did the same thing. She put 2029. she meant 2020. Roy Jackson's got a birthday on April the 5th. Well, hey, happy early birthday
And that's on a
Yeah.
Wednesday.
to Roy Jackson. So we'll be able to announce his deal on our next show. Mine, well, it goes Dwight Allen, April the 9th, Byron, April the 10th, mine's April the 11th, Mitchell's is the 21st. So is yours, right, Austin?
No, mine's 23rd.
The 23rd.
Wow.
A lot of April birthdays in this month.
What's the zodiac sign for that?
Aries. No.
Taurus.
Taurus.
Yeah.
Taurus for you, Aries for me.
Yeah, depends on
So,
the date.
Mitchell, you were wrong, son. It was Aries. I said Aries. For me.
For you,
Yeah.
but 21st is Taurus.
When you say that, I said birthday. Mitchell Gunner, we finally got him on one.
He's been doing that the whole show now. He's
Been jamming y'all up. So anyway, Chris Tucker Elkins is watching. Barnes is the 9th, mine is the 10th. That's right, Dwight. And mine is the 11th, just like I said. Goodness gracious. A bunch of Aries and Taurus in the house.
And Austin's sister is the 29th. of
And
April.
his sister's the 29th. Shelley Rogers is the 29th as well. Matt Eunice is the 28th, a good friend of mine. And I'm trying to remember, Mitchell, who else is right there, man?
I don't know, but I'm bullheaded.
Aries. So,
Yep.
yes, you are.
Alex,
You are
Yeah.
bullheaded.
She's the same.
All right. Give me a drum roll, please. Let's get the answer coming right away. And the answer is no winners. 2019.
What?
2019.
I was going 2020, but
No wieners.
Man, I am
Hey,
so...
I knew the right date
So, yep.
because I'm looking at it on the computer.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So, hey, no winners. Everybody's giving me sad faces now. Well,
Well,
well, that's the way the ball bounces. All right, David, what do we got coming up, brother? We got a couple of things coming up. Want to talk about?
There's
Yeah,
a lot coming up.
yeah. So what are we gonna do? You want to take a quick commercial break and let's come back?
Yep.
Let's take a quick commercial break and then we'll analyze. Right? Since Byron's not here, we'll analyze a couple of subjects. Be right back on this commercial break.
Brought to you by Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in beautiful Stark, Florida. Fun Point is an all-in-one arcade and restaurant that is bound to raise your spirits, sure to please your taste buds, and the games will keep you entertained for hours. Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in Stark. Feel free to give them a call at 904-966-3380. Make a point to visit Fun Point.
All right, back here with you on the spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers. No, Mr. Byron Bagwell. We do have Austin Stevens in the house. We got Dave Holland here. Mitchell, real quick before you go, just real quick. Who's your guest on Sunday or Thursday night? Let me write it down so I can remember it too.
All right, on Thursday night we're going to have Tammy Brandemere.
What does she do?
Her and her family, they have owned the drag strip, the Mile High drag strip in Atlanta. I mean, not Atlanta, Jesus.
In Denver.
In Denver, Colorado. And we're going to have them on and talk about what's going on. I think they have a big anniversary that's fixing to happen, and it's great to celebrate those anniversaries when we've had several tracks close.
Right.
The weekend after, or the next Thursday night after that, will be Chase Van Sant, pro stock motorcycle rider. He's a rookie. He was able to make it all the way to the semifinals in Gainesville before he bailed out, which is really good. We've got him coming on, and then the next following week, I think we're going to have Phil Green joining us. We're going to talk about Racers for Christ and the things that they do behind the scenes at the races. Not just drag racing, but they also do things at the circle tracks and NASCAR, and so it's a real big organization.
Good. Thank you, Mitchell. Push the page real quick. How can they hit us? How can they hit up on the Spot Motorsports Media page?
Hey, just put it in your search bar, On the Spot Motorsports Media.
Yep.
Click like, and you will get notified every time that we go live on a podcast. Also, we do try to keep up with all the stories going on, not just with NHRA and NASCAR, but PDRA and a couple other sanctioned bodies. We try to, move that news right along. So.
Yeah. So you can catch Mitchell Gunner on Thursday nights. Mitchell, thank you for stopping by, my brother.
And we'll
Always
be
great
live
to see
streaming
you.
this weekend.
Live streaming
and
Saturday.
Sunday
That's
from
exactly
Gainesville
right.
Raceway.
And there'll be good weather.
Good. So we'll let Austin get into that here in just a little bit.
Upper 80.
All right. In a minute, Austin. Let me get into some national news here. There are a lot of big stories going on, a lot of things going on, of course, in our world today. You hear about Russia firing missiles. You're hearing about North Korea firing missiles. China, still bullying people around. Of course, they think they like to bully us, but one of these days and one of these times, they're going to bully the wrong person, Dave, and the right person is going to be in office, and that bullying will stop. But anyway, we look weaker and weaker. As I always say my prayers that we're the most powerful country, we're the most powerful nation in the world today. I still think that. I still believe that. But I think that we're starting to weaken down on that chart. And when we start weakening down on that chart, that gives countries that want to take us over, it gives them a good chance and a good plan to do that. Either that or just end the whole thing. And I don't really think, honestly, that these guys, even though they want to push our buttons, I don't think they want a nuclear war. If you get a nuclear war, you're just going to kill everybody. Only the strongest will survive, and that's going to be very few on this planet because everybody's not prepared for a nuclear war or nuclear holocaust. Let's be honest with you. Do you have a basement at your house?
No.
No, I don't either. Austin, Cheryl, you have a basement at your house?
Not right now, but if I
So,
wanted to.
Okay, well, but not right now. You don't. If it started tomorrow, we'd be goners.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. So, China wants our country because, like me and Byron said last week, because of the resources that we have. The resources we have, number one. Number two is they could care less about our political views and the way our government's run. They're a communistic country. We know that. We've always known that. And they'd like to see us go that way. It's all about controlling the people with them, and they would love to do nothing more than control us. Could you imagine me and you at the age of 70 going out there and picking corn for the Chinese? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm sorry. Not going to happen.
No.
We'll have a war. I don't know about a nuclear war. If that's the case, well, then everything's gone. But if they want to have a war with arms, hey, I may die for the cause, but I ain't letting them come in here and take this over. Not without a fight. And
Absolutely.
you know, the Chinese Prime Minister already said he's afraid to do that because, you know, the United States citizens are the most heavily and most armed force in the whole world.
3 to 1.
3 to 1.
On
Yes.
any country on earth.
Earth. Yes. You're talking guns, right?
Guns, right.
Yeah, guns per household.
Per
And
every 100 people, there's 122 guns in the United States.
that's a little high. No, I'm not buying that. That's a little high. But you're in the right area, Austin.
That's on the country's average. That's up in the average.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're talking that, you know, most ordinary people either have none, let's face it, either have none, or they have between the range of 5 to 8. Yeah, there's people that's got 10, 11, 12, 13. So I agree with Austin in that part. But, you know, 122 guns per person average, I like the number because I hope it's a scare tactic.
I said per every 100 people. That could be.
So that's 12 guns. 12 guns. You're saying 12 guns per household if you divide that up.
On a national average of 330 million, yes. That's an
that makes a little more sense. That makes a little
Dave,
more sense.
Yeah. These people in office, they're all supposed to be smart people.
Yes.
They're supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Now, I wonder if they've considered the fact that if they shoot a nuclear missile, then we're going to shoot a nuclear missile, then Russia's going to shoot a nuclear missile. Everybody's going to get blown up.
Exactly. That will end mankind. I get it, man. There may be some survivors, people that are prepared for this, that are really gung-ho about this. You may have some, but eventually, when is the air going to clean? You know what I mean? Yeah. When is all the biological stuff going to disappear? You're going to need to know that before you walk out, and what you're going to see is probably a bunch of nothing except ruins and dead people all over the place.
And no amount of money is going to make that right.
No amount of money is going to make that right.
And even then, you may not see any left bodies because they'll be vaporized.
And that's a great point. So you know, it's a really a no-win situation. For the world. Do I think that there's going to be some type of conflict with either China, Russia, North Korea, all three? Yeah, I think there will be at some point.
Nuclear conflict?
No, I don't think so. Even Byron said, I don't think it's going to be nuclear, but I think it's going to be some kind of, you know, our military against yours, you know, and people, whatever, you know, however they, you know, support their armed forces and however we're going to support ours. But I don't think there's going to be a nuclear war. I think there's going to be fighting, and you know, who's our allies right now besides Great Britain and Israel? I mean, the Middle East can't stand us. Let's face it. Iran, Iraq, really? Syria?
Well,
you know, they may all team up and try to bash us.
Well, it's going to start when they see us at our weakest point.
Yes. Yeah.
That's when they're going to move in on it.
Oh, yeah. And if you keep letting it go like it is, we're starting to get weaker and weaker and weaker because you know what we're doing? I've used this word many a times. We're self-imploding. We're self-imploding. We are fighting amongst ourselves instead of the enemy that's outside. What is that called? That's called domestic terrorism. You know what I mean? We're fighting our own people that are wanting to have this certain way that our government should run. Then you got the other side that thinks it should be the way, ran the right way as our founding fathers have showed us and presented to us. So now, instead of seeing what's going on out here, we've got the blinders on. It's me against you here. Instead of us putting aside all that garbage and teaming up together to fight a common enemy, which is on the outside, which is the great big country right now that everybody thinks is the most powerful, and that's China. China, owns most of what we have and what we do. Think about it. Pick up a product. It says China on it. Most of it. You know what I'm saying?
We gave them that power.
We gave it to them, though. Yes. You know why? Because businesses back in the day were all about profit.
Yeah.
You would have to pay a good American worker, I'm just using a number, okay?
Yep.
$15 an hour, I'm just saying, where we could ship it to the Chinese and let them do it for 20 cents an hour and ship it back and still pay less than we paid that American worker.
And make a profit.
And make 80 and 90% off of. Remember Nike? Remember that was a big thing going on. Remember Nike and Reebok shipping their stuff over there. That was one of the main things that came to me. We was knowing these sneakers were made over there. That people and of course Mexico too. They shipped some to Mexico. Remember that?
That's
Sweatshops and
when
things
I
like that.
realized it was when the NAFTA program was created in Mexico.
Correct. Yes.
Companies were closing up and moving to Mexico and build.
Yeah, and that's why human trafficking is so bad down there. If you were American, they'd love to have you. They kidnap you and make you work in these sweatshops, and when they're done with you, they're not letting you go. Oh, you're working your way. They kill you. And they bury you in fields out there. In Juarez, I'll use Juarez for an example. They build, and they may never find you.
Yeah, they'll clean out your bank account first.
Oh, absolutely. Take yeah. You're not known anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you're not known anymore. Yeah. David who? Shirley's got a good point. Divide and conquer. Yeah. Divide us, then conquer us.
Yeah.
Everybody's seeing it.
It's in the...
It's in the Bible too. It's in
Communist Manifesto.
Well, that too, but it's in the Book of Revelations too. Well, how things are going to play out, and
that's already started.
Oh, for sure it has. For sure it has. And if you don't know the Bible and you've never read the Bible all the way through and you've never gotten to the Book of Revelations, I would suggest this. Yes, Genesis talks about the creation. You ought to read Revelation. That's a book that'll scare you to pieces. The way things are going to go down, the pestilence and things like that, that's going to go down. Wow. That is a scary, scary thought. And diseases and you're going to get a second chance to prove your Christianity, but you're going to die for the cause. Because there's going to be a new world order, or one world order, that's going to be in effect and it's going to take place. And that's coming soon. You see it through some of the things that are going on.
Crashing banks.
Exactly. Crashing banks. And that's crazy.
Media unrest and, nobody's being accounted for anything.
No, they're not holding anybody accountable for anything. Let me go back to the school shooting in Nashville. 28-year-old lady goes in there and just starts shooting up a school and kids, 9-year-old kids, and anybody else that she sees. Now, we'll commend the police departments, the Nashville Police Department that got there and took this person out before she hurt or killed any more people. They did the right thing. But 3 children and 3 families. Can you imagine the heartache and the solemnness and just the loss that these people and these families are dealing with? I can't even imagine. I can't fathom it. I can't even imagine if I lost one of my kids, or you lost one of your anybody, or your son, anything.
Or if you lost a mother or father. I mean,
Yes.
there's 3 adults and 3 children.
Right.
So that's 6 families.
Families, yes, that are affected by this tragedy. Because I don't care how you slice it and dice it. I think me and Byron has talked about this. Look, that's pure evil. I'm sorry. I can't. You can tell me you have a mental disorder. You can tell me this. You can tell me that. But she plotted the news that I've been seeing. She plotted this out. She had maps. Are you hearing what they're finding? She had maps of the school, underground stuff, doors that wouldn't be locked. This was calculated. This was premeditated.
Did she leave a note?
So,
An explanation yet?
if she did, I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
I'd like to know why. And see, you know, when police officers go in, somebody asked me this question today. And David, as a military man, you can attest to this. I was part of physical security after I quit through flying and went to the reserves. And when I was getting my gun quals, weapons quals, you know, we had the 45 back then, and then we went to the 9, and of course I had to requalify with it. But when I was they've always told me, and being part of the physical security force at Milton over there, they told me to always aim chest, right? Hey, get your chest shot. You know what I mean? Or, you know, head shot, you know, a smaller area, but aim, you know, for the chest. And, you know, these police officers, you know, somebody asked me, well, why didn't they shoot her in the leg, you know, and keep her alive, and maybe we find out what happened. Well, in the heat of the battle, man, you're trying to protect you and your crew. She's out there shooting the place up. You're getting the best shot you can, and to take this person down as quickly as you can so there's no further damage being done.
Yeah, in the leg, she's going to fall and still have that gun in her hand.
Right. You know, you got to get somebody over there quickly to disarm that person.
Disarm.
So, but that's just pure evil. You know, and why I bring this up, because of course it's big news right now. We are seeing more and more of this. I'm going to give you a question, guys, also on the panel.
The officers are getting better at response.
They are.
Also.
And I want to tie that in. Thank you for saying that. All right. Do you know, I don't want to word this. Do you know how many school shootings happen? Well, how many days are there? Okay. How many days are there in between school shootings? Right now, as of today.
Oh, a couple months.
So you're saying every 60 days?
Yeah.
Okay. Cheryl?
Yeah.
You go every 60 days?
Yeah, because we just had one, in Texas not too long?
Right. Austin?
I'd say on this is this one's a spread one. I'm going to narrow it down between 60 to 90 days and maximum 120 days, because there's only like 180 days in the typical school year.
All right. Great guesses. I probably would have said the same thing until I heard a professor today say this.
We're just talking about the ones we hear.
I'm talking on an average, on a random.
Yeah, that professor probably.
He's dug it in.
All of them.
Because he told me, and he told us, and he told the nation when the next one would occur. 1 in every 13 days.
I believe it.
That is an ungodly number. He says 13 days from now, because this is so fresh and so new, it's hyped other people up that's had this idea for them to go do it. Yep. He says once every 13 days. Are you absolutely kidding me, David and Austin? Are you absolutely kidding me?
It hyped people up, and then they move on their
agenda, their aggression.
Right.
I got a feeling it was a hate crime, just my opinion. Joey Fennell. We're in the days of the Euphrates River drying up. Yep, I agree.
Wow.
So, That's a great point, Dave Holland Jr.
Water areas
Yeah,
drying
but my
up,
question is why you gotta
drying
take it
up
on the
all
students?
over the place.
And you know, the Euphrates River is over there in the Middle East, over in that area there. Remember? Well, I don't want to get biblically with you. We'll go over that some other time, but I want to get back to this subject here. It could have been a hate crime. You know, again, we don't know because I don't know what was left. And Joey lives in Nashville, by the way, so thank you, Joey, for tuning in.
Well, they're saying that she went to that school, right? Private school.
She was 28. Yeah, was she a student?
She was.
Because I was in elementary school, if I'm not mistaken.
From what I saw,
I couldn't understand the whole dynamics of it. Maybe Joey can chime in here a little bit, but or Dave, if you can look it up, or if you got some way to look it up. But I didn't know if she was a student or if one of her children went there, or what. I really couldn't. She was. Joey Fennell says she was a student, 28 years old in elementary school. Obviously, there was something wrong with her, right? Obviously, there's something going on.
28 years old and
she was a
elementary.
past student.
So, now, this school, I don't know if it was just, maybe this was through the 12th grade, you know what I mean? Or I don't know this particular school on how it was designed. But no matter what, that should never happen. I've got a plan, though, David. Hey, how to fix all this. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Hey, I wrote a song about it. You want to hear it? You remember that on Living Color? No, I'm going to give you what I think should happen. Y'all agree with me. See if y'all agree, man. But that's still tuning in. Again, welcome to the spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers. No Byron Bagwell tonight as he's working diligently. I have Austin Stevens here. I have Mr. Dave Holland here. Miss Cheryl here. We're all here. Mr. Gunner just left. So, anyway, this is the way I think we fix it. I know this is going to cost us money, but we spend money on garbage a lot of times. You know, we go, oh, we threw $4 billion at this. Why did you throw $4 billion at that? That ain't doing us no good. And you go, my God, they're just wasting money and spending money. Here we go. This is the way you fix it. Police officers, you put them in every school. And I'm not talking about rent-a-cops. I'm not talking about your retired cops that can, you know, that, and don't get me wrong, I want to employ these people. But somebody there should be the head cop, and he should be in the right age frame. And I hate to, again, discriminate, but he needs to be a good cop. You know what I'm saying? A good cop with a good head on his shoulders, young enough to handle these situations. Oh, David, where are we getting the money to pay for this? Well, unfortunately, we get taxed on everything else, don't we? It needs to come from our taxes. And we need to invest in lottery money. All these states have lottery. They say it's going toward education. Okay, if it's going toward education, we never get a report about it. I never get a report about it. I never hear it. So where is that money really specifically going to? That's what I want to know. Take some of that lottery money, invest it in these schools for these police officers, pay them a decent wage. They're under Homeland Security anyway, so when a situation like that happens, Cheryl, David, Austin, people watching, guess what it is? It's domestic terrorism. That's what's going on. So you handle that as a terrorist act. And you go in there and you need to do what you need to do. But I think presence, my personal opinion is, David, I think presence, I'm not going to say it's going to cure it all. But when you've got a deterrent there, you will be more than likely not to try to want to do something, because guess what? When you fire shots, they're going to fire right back at you. Agreed? Mm-hmm. David, agreed?
Yes.
So, you know, that is where I'm going with this. Somehow we need to figure out, and I'm not talking high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, kindergartners, whatever. We need to make a police presence known. I get it.
Our school had two school deputies. One had the permit for a firearm and had a firearm on campus.
We have one
Yeah.
too.
So,
Female.
yeah. But I'm talking about, that's their year-round job. That's what you hire them for. You are a school, like y'all said, school resource officer. Or you are a school police officer. You're part of the school police department. Depending on the amount of students, depending on the size of the school, you get how many ever. You figure up a number like 2 to every 100 or something, whatever the case may be, and that's what you should arm your school with. And I tell you right now, if we don't do that, David, this is going to continue to escalate. One every 13 days, what the professor said?
Wow.
That's crazy. So you watch. 13 days to 2 weeks from now, there's going to be another one. You can bet your sweet ass on, excuse me, your sweet tail on
now, but what was the date of the shooting?
that. You mean this one here?
Yeah.
That was the 26th, right?
I guess it was.
Yeah.
I just heard
So-
about it, so I don't know.
So anyway, Cheryl,
I keep stepping
yeah,
on
you do.
Sorry.
She was a student there when she was younger, Dave Holland Jr. said. One of the 9-year-olds, Joey said, that was shot was the pastor of the church's daughter. Wow. There was a 14-minute gap from the call to the threat being taken out. Arm and train some of the teachers as well. Great point.
Yep.
Great point. Now, here is my question to that. I have no problem doing that because, look, most of us can carry concealed anyway. I have no problem with that. Give them the training, everything like you said. Now, here's why teachers don't want to do it. They're not getting paid any more money to do it. You're still making your little salary, and you want me to risk my life, which most teachers would. I know that. Look at Parkview down there in Parkland in South Florida where that teacher risked his life. So I know teachers will do it. But you're asking these teachers to get, to be certified in pretty much domestic terrorism, and you're not offering any more money. I'm not saying every teacher should carry, that's just not feasible. But some teachers should, and I agree with that, but I think you should pay more money. I think you should give them a little bit of a raise. But until there is presence of some sort, David, at these schools, this is going to keep happening and happening and happening. You know why? Because it's too accessible. When there's no presence there, it's just like, hey, if a bank was left wide open and nobody was in it and there was cash on the counter, walk in and grab it, right? I mean, I wouldn't, or you probably wouldn't. Maybe we would. But, I mean, because there's no present there. But now if that cash was there and there was 2 security guards or armed police officers, would you think about going in there as quick as you did without them being there? Absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about presence. Presence needs to be of some sort at these schools. Yes, Joey, you're right. You know what he said? Schools are soft targets. Absolutely. Fully agree. You know what else is soft targets? Churches. Soft targets.
With that said,
Yeah, but
so the last shooting on the 26th, 13 days, brings it into April the 9th.
It was on the
That weekend on April 9th is the 13th day.
Right.
So
On an average of what is that?
you know what the 9th of April is?
Easter.
Easter.
Easter Sunday.
So, is it a school? Maybe not. Maybe it's a church. What's the church? A soft target.
Yeah.
Now I do know some churches, and I'll get back to you, Cheryl. I know some churches, some parishioners in there, some deacons, and some churches even around here. I know they pack. I know of that. So you have to. It's unfortunate that you have to bring a weapon in the house of worship. Really? What are we doing, man? Go ahead, Cheryl, and then
I forgot what I was going to say.
The actual shooting occurred at the school up in Nashville. It occurred yesterday.
Okay, 27. That's what. Shirley said, it's my understanding that whatever money is awarded to education, that amount is subtracted from it. Could be. I mean, I don't know the breakdown, so I mean, that's
If there
So-
was,
Maybe go back to the Western.
if if there was hypothetically another shooting in 13 days from the 27th of March, it would be to the 10th of April, which would be the day right after Easter.
So there you go. So both of y'all got it right. Somewhere Easter weekend.
Yeah.
And I assure you, if the man is right, schools aren't open that day. Schools are gone. So there's no targets there.
No.
So where's the next targets? Churches, which have been shot up. We've known about those, right?
Yeah.
Some movie theater where you bring your family in there to watch a movie and enjoy some popcorn and enjoy time together, and some jacknut idiot comes in there with his weapon brandish and just starts shooting up the place. Guys, I'm telling you, that is pure evil. And if you even suspect anybody, I'll say this for our Bradford County Sheriff's Department, our police departments around here, and anybody that's watching in this state or this region, if you even suspect, I'm talking about it could be, you may not even be right about it. David, what should they do? Call the authorities right away. Let them start investigating these people. Let's put a target on their back and stop these people from doing this kind of stuff. The problem is we don't have enough reporting, David, from people telling anybody this stuff. I mean, come on. She lived with her father. You're telling me you don't know what your daughter's doing? I know she's 28. She's got maps and... Come on, man. Unless you are just absolutely have an IQ of 0, you know what's going on, man. You see a school. He should have called the authorities. I understand it's your daughter. I get it. But if he knew and he was aware, I'm not saying he was, but if he knew and he was aware, he's just as guilty as she is. Never reported it or never tried to stop it. Or maybe he did. I don't know. We still don't know that part of it yet.
There's the other element of, all this information that she has gathered to write down. Did she get it all off the internet or talk to other people? Her best friend?
And what did you say, David, earlier in the conversation? We're never going to know. Why? She's dead. Yeah. We're never going to know her inner feelings. They may find some stuff here and there to be able to put the pieces together, but they're never going to really know. Did you have something? Oh, you forgot what you were going to say. So I wanted to get to that. So, and I know it's getting on 8:30, and there's been a great show so far. Shirley says, from the amount given to schools, she thinks some of that money, that lotto money, is going to school resource officers. And it could be. I just don't know that. Maybe that's something we can research up a little bit, or ask Gordon or whatever. Who pays the school resource officers? Does it come from the lottery fund? Does it come from the school board fund? Does it come from them? I think it's a little bit of both.
I know someone that was a school deputy at Keystone Heights High School. I can reach out.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me reach out to Gordon first, Austin, and then I'll let y'all know that answer.
Well,
because I'll get it from Gordon straight up.
That big pot that was $1 billion and over $1 billion.
Right.
And the winner took home $500 million, leaving half of it.
Right.
To go, is that distributed through the educational system in our country,
to all states?
Our state?
I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you brought that up, because some people don't understand the lottery and the way it's played. And I'm glad you said that, David. That's a great question. So the Powerball is done through so many states.
Yeah.
The Mega Millions is done through so many states. So you're talking about the person that hit that 1.5 billion, wherever state that is. Okay, first, right off the top, he's going to get taxed, like you said.
Yeah.
That tax money should be distributed back to all the lottery states, right? Because everybody plays Powerball. I know he hit it in whatever, West Virginia, whatever it was. But that should be distributed back to all the states that are part of the Powerball. The store that sold it gets a little percentage too. But like you said, that is still, if you're talking 500 million, let's just say there's 28 states that play it, let's just use that. That's still $22 million that each state's getting back from that. Where's that $22 million going? Is it going to the education fund? Because the state of Florida definitely says that lottery is for school education. Now, they brought some other things in there, but that's why the lottery was started back in 1988, Dave. Am I right? Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
1988, because they needed help funding schools. They wasn't getting it from the national level, remember? Right. The state couldn't cover all costs, so we'll come up with a lottery. Absolutely, great idea, if the money's going to the right place.
Right.
But who's to say it is? Who's controlling that money? Is the governor of our great state controlling that money? Does he got a controller, a comptroller controlling this money and divvying this money out? I mean, who does that fall under?
The lotto program in the state, I think, would probably be one part of it. The federal government, they take their part too, don't they?
Oh, absolutely they do.
And that's not to the school.
Well, that should go to the National Education Foundation, something.
I think so.
Yeah, I would think so. So when they, because, when states request money for help from schools, it comes from the national level. The national level, distributes the money down. Of course, the states do their part too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway,
we've got to research.
We'll research that. I'm just what we're all trying to do here is funnel. Where do we get the funds to pay good police officers? And I'm not saying all of them. Hey, the guys that volunteer, I give y'all a kudos, man. You got retirees that take their time that don't get paid a damn dime. They go in there and they help. So. Nothing against you guys. I really appreciate what you're doing, but you need help, and you need active police officers in these schools. Now, kids are gonna, when you see a kid that's in the second, third grade, first grade, whatever the case may be, and you see police officers all around, I don't know how that feeling is or how that's going to be because, school used to be a sanctuary, a safe haven. You go to school, play with the kids. Your teacher will protect you. The principal, whoever staff. Now, there's too many idiots out there that can get into these schools and, like we're just seeing here, shoot up whoever they want. But we've got to have more presence, whatever that may be, in that. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
They changed ours. They can't get into it.
And that's good. We need to do that. Now, somebody asked me, and I'm glad you said that, Cheryl. Y'all lock the doors?
Oh, yeah. Well, we have security in the front. You have to show your face.
Okay.
And I had to show my
There's a security guard there or a police officer there?
There's a police officer there, but the parents can't get into the school. They only can go in the front office to sign the children out. They can't go in.
So are they locked now? Because I've heard this. Well, I don't want. Are they chaining the doors?
No.
Okay, they're just physically locking the door.
They lock automatically. Once
Yeah.
They shut.
So right.
Lock on the outside, right? Not the inside.
Correct. So in other words, if me and you went up to Keystone Heights or Bradford High School and tried to get into a door, we're not going to be able to because it's locked.
Right.
So but not chained because some people said chain the doors because there's always faulty deals on doors. But now you get into a fire code hazard thing. You get into a evacuation deal. So I'm not so sure that putting chains on the door is a great idea. I don't think so.
No, what we do, we have these when we do have a lockdown. We have these little locks. They go down to the doors, and they close them in. No one can't get in. No one can't get out.
So okay, that's only on lockdowns, right?
Yeah, if we get.
Yeah, that's only on a situation. Regular day-to-day business, they just lock the door.
No, it
it automatically locks.
Automatically locks.
Yeah.
It doesn't open from. You can't get inside.
Right.
Alright, I'm gonna speak on this one. Are you talking about them little red tap things?
Yeah.
Hey, don't say anymore, because you'll get in trouble. Don't say anymore.
And why is that, Austin?
Because I know this from overhearing things that people outside the school, like students, are not supposed to know about them little night laws.
Okay, so there's things that they shouldn't know about. Great call, and that's a great
very dangerous territory.
That's a great point because you're right. So, all right. Well, I wanted to get into another subject, but Dave, man, I tell you, it's been a great show so far. We put out a lot of information.
Yes, sir.
And want you to tune in next week because I do want to talk about the tornadoes that hit. And again, I pray for those people. We all did. Keep praying for those people. And what I wanted to say about that real quick, David, is if you're wanting to give money, make sure it's going to the right foundation.
Yeah.
Make sure that it's going to those victims. Make sure it's going to that community. Because, man, there's people out there that's got these fake foundations and donations, and they take your money and they never see it. So make sure that the foundation, how can you find that out? The Better Business Bureau in those areas, the Federal Business Bureau, there's always numbers there. Call, make sure that you're speaking with somebody that's reputable. So please make sure when you're giving to those and even these victims here and their families, and I know there's going to be a lot to do with that. So please make sure you're giving to the right people. Austin, great show tonight. Give me a final weather all the way through the weekend.
All right, so we got nighttime temperatures dropping to the upper 50s. Sounds great tonight. Daytime highs tomorrow with under cloudy skies in Bradford County with mid-70s, lower 70s the further north you go. Sorry if you're down south of I-4 tomorrow. Still going to be muggy, the usual. Possible thunderstorms in Orlando if you're going to go to Orlando. But the weather will clear out for everyone, including the cloud cover, come Thursday. Daytime highs will average out around the lower 80s and upper 70s. Temperatures will rise back to the upper 80s over the weekend for Mitchell stuff with no rain. Humidity value should be around 50%. And the muggy weather will return next week. No cool fronts on the horizon after this one. Enjoy it while it lasts. Back to you, David.
Oh, thank you very much for that great weather report, Austin. And thank you for what you do for YouTube and our show. Not only can you catch the rebroadcast of this right after we get done on Facebook Live, but tomorrow night, if you don't have Facebook, you can catch that on the YouTube channel. A bunch of episodes into that. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch every episode from day one, David. From day one. That's been able to be uploaded to the YouTube, and this is our YouTube guru guy. Austin does a great job with that, and we really, not only the weather, but we appreciate his help. Real quick, Joey said, if you've seen the security camera of the Nashville shooting, she shot through glass doors.
Yeah.
I heard about that and just walked right on it.
Yeah, she shot her way in.
Yes, she shot through the glass doors, must have popped the latch, and then walked in.
Because she knew what was in the school. She knew.
That's what I was saying. You remember when they said that they went to her house and they found all these maps of the school, which entry points would not be guarded, which ones weren't, how she could penetrate the school. She had all that.
Then did she work there or something?
This was
So she said it was a student, a former student. Joey, or one of them said she was a former student. Dave Holland Jr. said
But
that.
things changed. It's an elementary school, so she's been out of school. She's 28 years old.
This is also, you also are dealing with a private school in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, yeah, I mean, that could be a private school down here. That could be Northside.
That don't make no sense.
You know what I'm saying, Austin?
And Mom, code is different from state to state, too.
Yeah, I know it is, but that don't make no sense if she's 28 years old and she's been to school in elementary.
She's wondering why a 28-year-old is hanging out at an elementary school.
And learning everything that
you
they
see,
have at school.
If she's a student or a former student, 28 years old, really? There's something wrong. There's something wrong mentally here.
A lot of things that get reported in the news these days don't add up, to be fair.
Yeah, somebody's lying somewhere. This story don't add up. Because I think our government's behind it. I'm sorry.
No, you're exactly right. And we could continue on with this subject, but I tell you right now, we're going to cut it off right here, and we're going to have a great rest of the week. Help these people out. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Also, the victims of these storms that came through my great home state of Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia. Please keep those guys in your prayers. Dave?
Yes.
Last final words. Harry Business, anything? Final words?
Shoot, just
great show tonight, wasn't it?
It was a great show tonight. Yes, I don't have much more than that.
I think we beat that thing pretty good, David, on these shootings. And if you didn't hear that, then you need to go back and watch the show again and see if you agree with what we all said here on the panel. Go ahead.
I'd say maybe try to tune in to On the Spot Motorsports Media show.
Thursday night.
Thursday night, 7 o'clock.
Yes, 7.
Mitchell's going to have some great...
Tammy Brandomir is going to be owner of the Denver Mile High NHR Raceway.
Yes.
How about that, huh?
Awesome person.
Yeah, awesome person. She's going to be on.
What she's got planned to say.
Yeah, she's got a big racing event coming on up there, and like I said, Mitchell does a great job with that show. He's really blowing the page up, man. I tell you, all you guys that are tuning in. So as you're tuning in there, or you're tuning in through here, we want you to hit both pages, man, because I tell you, we've got a great show each and every week. And we want you to tune in to both, and we hope you enjoy both shows. On behalf of Mr. Austin Stevens, Mr. Dave Holland, the missing Byron Bagwell, Mitchell Gunner, I am David Rodgers, your host. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back next Tuesday with a bunch of April birthdays. God bless you guys. Have a great weekend.